Hello, welcome back to this new episode of Crate Diggers. Today I've got 5 records that I'm extremely excited to share with you guys. So let's get started right now with this 12-inch by McGee, Now That I Have You. This was released in 1984. It's actually a remix. The original version is from, if I remember well, 1981, and it's much more organic, much slower version. My preference goes for this 1984 remix. A fact that I like to point out about this record is that there is another remix from 1986 which is amazing as well, a lot more difficult to find too. I'm actually strongly looking for after this record for such a long time now, so if you are selling a copy of this 1986 remix, please give me a shout. So yeah, strongly recommend this one. Second pick, we stay in the US with this lovely 7-inch, this Soul Steppers by Elvin Johnson, titled I Don't Really Care.
I never thought I could love again, but you came into my life, made me feel like a brand new man. I don't really care.
Great Soul Stepper record by Elvin Johnson. He actually released the same year an album on which you can find this track. I had a listen to this album. I was not too impressed. This is to me the best track on the album, definitely. So grab a copy again. Strongly recommend this one. Next pick, we have this jazz funk, jazz fusion album by Crystal Clear. So it's a nice play on word, Crystal Clear. I have an interesting memory about this record. This brings me back to 2015 when I came to LA and my friend Hassan, aka Central Line, showed me this record that I didn't know, and I was lucky enough to find it a few days later when digging in Las Vegas. I found this sealed copy. There's actually 2 tracks that I really like on this album. The first one is the groove tune. But there's also another one that I like on this LP called Turn Around.
Now I think my luck is changing, my whole life is rearranging. Some kind of cycle coming to me, running through me, and I hope that nothing comes along to change the flow from high to low. Time to turn.
So this album, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not really complete. It's not the most complete album you can get, but it's so cheap that to me it's worth spending a few bucks on it. It's actually a record that only a few people know, and it's strongly underrated. So if you can cop a copy, strongly recommend it. Next pick, we go to the UK with this monster double-sider by Nick Straker. I adore both tracks, but I have to say that my favorite track is We Can Still Be Friends.
We can still be friends. We can still be friends. Come on, let's pretend that when love ends, we can still be friends. Like so different ever since we went our separate ways. It's hard to go
I really like the nostalgic feel of this track. Every time I listen to it, for some reason, it brings a lot of emotion. The B-side, Turn Me Down, is another Boogie track that I adore. Definitely my favorite release by Nick Straker. Both sides are amazing. It's not too expensive. I had a chance to grab this copy a few years ago when I started digging records in London. So a must-have in my opinion. Right, last pick, but definitely not least. We stay in the UK with this amazing late 80s street soul track by Systematic called Shorten News. This copy right here is a promo copy, white label, but there's also a regular release that you can find. Systematic, this band also released another track called Soul to Soul, which is very good too, but more difficult to find. Yeah, this is definitely one of the best 80s, late 80s street soul track in my collection. I strongly recommend it. All right. I hope you enjoyed this selection. I invite you now to tell me which track you like the most in my selection, and please drop a thumbs up if you enjoyed this episode. Bye bye.